Hello everybody, it's Final Rich here with vinyl video 36. I made a video, it's been less than a week. I usually don't make more than one video a week or so. But I got this package here from FlipsideCT, all the way from Connecticut. And I've been dying to see what's in here. I'm like a kid at, Christmas. Mom, can I open my present on Christmas Eve? And that's what I'm going to do. Let's get this taped up pretty good. It looks like a regular cardboard box almost. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like a cardboard box and it's inside here. Holy moly, dude. I cannot believe this shit. You gotta be kidding me, man. I got this my last video was Black Flag, my Black Flag video, and I got this package the day I made that video, and Steve sent me a message. He goes, you might want to open this before you make your video, because I told him I was going to make a Black Flag video. And wow, I'm speechless, dude. Unbelievable. I do not have this album. Anybody that sat through the 42 minutes of that last video, I'm sorry it took too long. But this is the first 4 years. The first 3 singers of Black Flag before Henry Rollins joined the band. Really cool. Side 1 of this is great, man. It's got their first 7-inch single and their Jealous Again EP. Their first 2 EPs on side 1. Just fabulous music. Got all these flyers in the back. They had so many different flyers, man. Raymond Pettibone was cool. I have a couple of these flyers. But man, they had so many of them. This album here, I mean, I could have talked about Black Flag forever. I could have made a 2-hour video maybe, But this album reminds me of a concert I saw Black Flag at the Santa Monica Civic. Misfits opened up for him. Black Flag came out and it was Ron Reyes singing. And then Dez came out, he sang. And then Henry came out. Henry was the weakest singer of the 3 that night. Henry did get better as the years went on. But yeah, that was a classic show. And this is what it looks like. Black Flag, first 4 years. Thanks a lot, Steve. FlipsideCT, really good-hearted guy. I mean, he's a really great guy. And check his channel out. And thanks a lot, dude. This next album, I'm gonna show my vinyl finds. This next album, it reminds me of another nice guy from the VC, the Metal Theologian. It reminds me of him because I know how much he likes men in Viking suits. I'm more of a Roman gladiator type of guy myself, but this is Dust, Heart Attack. Apparently this is their second album. I was really not familiar with this band. I have heard of them only because of the VC. In fact, these next 4 albums are all bands that I'm really not familiar with. This is a prog album. A lot of the songs start out with acoustic guitars and then they build up into this proggy sound. A couple of the slower songs I don't really care for. I guess this band is known for having Marky Mark, the drummer that went on to the Ramones. He really plays good drums in this. The bass player is really good too. Singer's good. It's a good album. Good prog album. Like I said, I wasn't real familiar with this band. I will, if I ever find I'll get their first album too. And it's Heart Attack, Dust, and it's on this Kama Sutra. Never heard of that label. Got a little picture of Adam and Eve there. Up to no good. This next album, definitely Blind By. And what's weird is Deadwax 66 showed this a little over a week ago, I guess. He must have bought this album the same weekend I bought mine. Toad Hall. I just bought it based on the cover. It's in the shrink, kind of glary there. Total blind buy. Class of 68. I don't know if you can see it. The back picture's kind of, it's not that great of a back picture anyways. Pretty good album. Kind of psyche, kind of not. It's got some real good songs on it. And it's got some that are, you know, so-so. It's a 3 out of 5 star, I guess you'd say. One thing these guys were preoccupied with catching a buzz, though, I'll tell you that much. They got Mr. Zigzag on here. Then they got this other song, Christopher Street Story. I mean, it's an innocent enough song, pop psyche song, and, you know. Then all of a sudden he mentions he sees this gal carrying a bag. He starts wondering, what's in the bag? Is it a present for me? Is it hash? Is it STP? You know? Yeah, these guys were preoccupied, boy. Catching a buzz. Pretty good album. I'm glad I got it. It's from that era I like, that late 60s stuff. Original inner sleeve. And it's on Liberty Records. Toad Hall. Blind buy. This next one here was definitely blind buy. It's a test pressing. Turns out it's a Contraband is the name of the band. The name of the album is Girls of the World, I think, something like that. And I mean, it doesn't say the name of the band anywhere on this. It doesn't say the name of the album anywhere. There is the last song on side 1 is Love Theme from Contraband, the film. But I didn't know. But I typed in the first song, Inside Out, and a YouTube video came up. And it's pretty much the only video I could find of this band. And apparently the son of one of the members, he's the one that... Here's the songs, side 1. Here's the songs on side 2. But apparently the son of one of the members posted that video. And I guess his father passed away in a traffic accident. And one of the other members passed away the year prior of pulmonary disease in Tijuana, of all places. But there really isn't much information out about this band. Apparently they're from Connecticut. I don't know if Flipside knows anything about Contraband. This album came out in '86, I found out. That much. They did record a second album, but it was never released. But yeah, this is really good, catchy punk. Really good punk album. I mean, this was a total blind buy, and this was, I mean, way more than what I expected. Really good. Contraband. I think the original album cover has a black and white drawing on it. Looked pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know I still don't know anything about this band. Now this next one is another band, total blind buy. Malaria. A German band apparently. All female. Really cool picture in the back. Side 1 is the English side. It's Your Turn to Run. Side the German side is Zara and Duschen. Whatever. It's very minimalistic, electronic sounding with that minimalistic drums and guitar, monotone vocals, you know, no emotion type thing. Kind of that post-punk. There were other bands that had this same sound. I really dig this type of music. It's a 12-inch single. Pretty cool. Malaria. Another blind buy. It's on Whale Records, I guess. It's a label I've never heard of. Pretty cool. This next record here, it's a guy I've heard of, but I had never seen this album before. Joe Zawinul. Joe Zawinul. I call him the dude from Weather Report. The Rise and Fall of the Third Stream. It's got a... It came out in '68. I was unaware of this album. He has that other album that came out in 1970 or so. It's a black and white picture of him. I thought that was his first album. That has a lot of the guys that were on Bitches Brew. This is a little bit before that. And it sounds like it. Really good album though. It starts off, first song inside one, it starts off with cellos. And it's got acoustic piano in it. The second album is more of an electronic sound. Electric piano sound. It kind of shows a window of things to come. The last song on side 2 is a concerto retitled. It has hints of classical music. This had violins and stuff in it, but not your traditional cheesy string section violins. This has hints of 60s jazz, that mid 60s jazz. I don't know if it's bop or whatever. I don't really know the jazz genres. I can parrot the names that I hear on the VC, but that's about it. It's got more, some of the songs kind of starting to lean to the fusion thing. And it's got classical influences on it too. Really good album. It's in the shrink. It's got a $1.99 clearance price sticker on there. Really cool album. It's on a label I've never heard of. Vortex. I'm really happy with that album. These next 3 albums definitely weren't blind buys. I went to a store recently and they had 6 Beatles Japanese albums. I picked up this one because it's Beatles number 5. It's not a US common. It's got the Beatles 65 cover on it basically. It's got this picture on the back. They had some other albums or some of their later albums. I wasn't sure if I should get one of those or get this one, an album that I never heard. I've heard the songs. It's just mishmash of some of their rock and roll type songs, which I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of. Beatles number 5. It's got songs like Long Tall Sally and Matchbox. I'm not really a big fan of that. I like the later stuff, but it's a pretty cool album. I am a big Beatles fan, but I'm not a Beatles collector, and I don't even want to start going down that road. I would like to get a good copy of each of their albums, and that's why I picked up this one, Magical Mystery Tour. I do have a copy of this album. It's my original from the 60s, but the booklet isn't intact. I cut out some of the pictures and put them on my wall back then. This does have the booklet. Everybody knows this album. Hog's Ear Report, he did a video recently of the top 10. I believe it was the top 10 Psych albums. Might have been top 20. I don't know, but I would have put this in there. I know when people think of Psych albums, they don't necessarily think of Magical Mystery Tour, but I think this is a great album. I think it's one of their best. The Rolling Stone Record Guide gives it 3 stars. out of 5, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. I guess it's because side 2 consists of singles that were released prior, you know, and they put them on this, made up side 2, but that should, I mean, just judge the album by the music that's on the album. I mean, they gave this 3 stars, and then they give I think it was the Best of Cher 3 stars. Come on, you're gonna tell me the Best of Cher is just as good as this? Give me a fucking break, you know? But yeah, I think this is a great psych album, actually. And it's on Apple again. We all know the Apple label. But yeah, they're pretty cool. This last album, it's one that I've said I wanted to get. And I went to Barnes & Noble. I went to Barnes & Noble with the intention of getting a couple of the Rolling Stone live ones. But I saw this. They didn't have this the last time I was in there. And I thought, I'm getting this. And then my daughter wanted a book, so I used my other coupon on that. But I have this on CD. It's a really good concert. I mean, it has a few missteps on the way. But overall, it's a really good album. Double album. It comes with these inner sleeves. But the albums are packaged in these poly-lined inner sleeves. And pretty cool custom label. And it's a lot. It's not a gatefold, which is kind of disappointing. It's just one of these types, and it's a lot of shit to stuff in that. So, I mean, on my newer albums, I usually do keep the records inside. On ones that I'm worried about getting seam splits in that, I don't. But I do prefer to keep the records inside. I think if you keep them outside, you're going to get ring wear from the pressure of the record rubbing on the outside of the record. And I know if you keep the records inside and you have the plastic, these covers, you're not going to you get ring wear on the plastic, but you don't get ring wear on the album. I've had albums for 35 years and black albums like this, and they don't have ring wear. So I would suggest keeping your records inside, unless it's an old record and you don't want it to get, you don't want to be taking stuff in and out. But anyways, apparently this was a bootleg, and it's got its official release now. It's really good, really cool era of Bowie, 72 to 74. All the way, all his 70s stuff is good. And that's it. Not too long, 18 minutes. A little bit better than 42, huh, folks? Anyways, I do have a camera. I was really disappointed in the quality of that Black Flag video. But I need to get a tripod for my camera. And probably my next video, I'm going to start making with a better camera. But anyways, take care, guys and gals.